What's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new edition of Horror October. Today we're going to be going over day 29 of Horror October. It's a little snowy out, so bear with me as I try to get through these conditions here in October. But anyways, yeah, for today's movie, the movie that we decided to watch is called Mandy. It's a Shudder original movie that's over 2 hours long. And I don't know if it's necessarily this, but I feel like since watching Audition, like, my standards for like movies now are just like so high, and especially with like the fact that I've watched 29 movies at this point, like I feel like my standards are pretty damn high, so like it's kind of tough now to like find like a movie that I really like. But then again, I feel like the flaws that this movie has probably could be agreed with a lot of people, because like this movie's 2 hours long, and you know, Audition is 2 hours long too, pretty much, and I think that's an amazing movie. But like, this movie's 2 hours long, and so much of it just feels like the runtime is just being like padded throughout like various parts, where it's just like unnecessary. Like certain like moments in the film just like really drag out, and it's a little like slow for me, and not in the good way. And there's just a lot of like weird stuff going on that's not really that like interesting, I guess. I don't know. But like, basically Mandy is about this guy, Red, who's married to Mandy. Mandy is walking and sees these creepy guys, and these creepy guys are like, I don't know, weird religious worshippers who are like enlightened or some shit. I don't even know. I couldn't like understand what they're talking about when they were like talking about like acceptance and being one with Jesus or some shit. But anyways, these people, these like hippie Jesus people, they're called Black Skulls. They capture Mandy and Red, and they burn Mandy while Red watches. And in turn, Red seeks revenge against these guys in like the most like gruesome, kind of badass way. I say kind of possible, where like he like kills them all and like barely escapes death a bunch of times, and does everything he can to, I guess, get his vengeance for Mandy, essentially. And then yeah, he gets his vengeance and kills all of them, pretty much, except for one who, like, one of the girls like seemed somewhat innocent. It was more just like happened to be there kind of thing, where like she didn't really seem like she was like in on it. She was just kind of like there. I think she might have been like the daughter of one of them, but I'm not positive. But like, dude, like the first 40 minutes of this movie like really made me want to turn it off. And like, if it wasn't for the fact that this is a review and that I needed to watch this movie for the review, I felt like I was gonna turn it off. But I was like, yeah, this is for the review. I have to see the movie through and just, you know, let it play out, see what I think of it. But I mean, I guess I'm kind of glad I did a little bit, because like the action with like Nicolas Cage, Red, like getting the weapons, you know, gearing up, you know, hunting these people and whatnot is cool, kind of, but like, it's still like, even with that, it's like, but like the first 40 minutes of this movie is just like basically like nonsense, man. Like there's nothing really like substantive going on in the first 40 minutes of this movie. It's just like they're just like talking about astronomy, and then like they're talking about how like they would kill starlings with a crowbar, and then like she's reading this book, and like she's like walking, like there's all just, and it's all just like played out like super slow. Like I feel like this movie could have easily been an hour and a half and it would have been fine, because like there's so many like establishing shots and just like shots of like the scenery that literally just take up so much of the movie's runtime that it's like kind of ridiculous to me. And just like the movie in general for the first 40 minutes is just like really, really slow paced. Sorry, I keep saying that over and over again, but yeah, I mean, like after that, like when they get captured and whatnot, and then like these Jesus people, man, are so fucking weird, dude. Like what the fuck is going on with these people? Like they were talking about like enlightenment and shit. I'm like, what am I listening to, dude? Like I don't know what you're saying, man. Like what the fuck? And like randomly like this one guy, Jeremiah, who's like the prophet or whatever, like he's the guy who needs whatever he wants, or I don't know, like he demands whatever he wants all the time to his like slaves. He takes off his robe and just shows like his naked body to the girl, and then like the girl, Mandy, just like cracks up laughing, and that kind of describes maybe like how I felt when he did that. I'm like, okay. Like she just starts like hysterically laughing, and like I'm like, that's kind of like funny for that like moment. I'm like, I felt like that was kind of like, okay, kind of fitting. But yeah, she gets burned inside a sack where like I assumed that like, you know, I thought maybe her body may have not been in the sack. Maybe it wasn't actually her body in there, but I don't know. You assume it was. And, you know, at the end, when Nicolas Cage does kill all the people, you know, he sees her at the end, almost like her, like, stamp of approval that he got revenge, and that, like, she's happy that he got revenge, I guess. But I gotta say, like, these action sequences with, like, Nicolas Cage are, like, kind of fun and badass with, like, the score and everything. Like, somewhat cool, but also, like, a little, like, unrealistic at times. Because, like, there was, like, certain times with, like, certain enemies when, like, I felt like he should have died. Like, someone just point blank missed a shotgun shot at him at one point. And, like, someone, like, grabbed a knife to try to get him, and then he just, like, twists the person's neck to kill them. Like, okay. Like, I don't know, man. There was just, like, certain times when I was like, he should have died there, but he didn't. Red. And, like, it's kind of funny, like, one of the kills, this guy was, like, cleaning his car, and he literally gets a fucking, I don't even know, scythe to the head. Like, Nicolas Cage was, like, making this, like, scythe, basically, from, like, pure melted metal. Like, he literally crafted it, and, I mean, that was kind of cool. I kind of like that. But yeah, I mean, like, I am somewhat glad I watched it, because it did somewhat redeem itself in, like, the second half. But still, I have to, like, you know, knock it down a little bit, because, like, the first, like, 40 minutes, like, what is this, man? And, like, I was trying to watch it, like, late last night, at, like, 3 a.m., and, like, I'm, like, 20 minutes in, and I'm like, dude, I'm, like, ready to fall asleep to this. I am so bored. Like, and like I turned it off after 20 minutes, and then I watched it today. So like I just couldn't at times, man. But it's all right. I mean, I still really enjoyed it. I mean, somewhat for at least the latter half of it. But yeah, that's what I think. And it's a Shudder original movie. And this one was on my radar for a while, so I'm glad I got to watch it. And Nicolas Cage does deliver a good performance. I do have to admit. Except there's one point where he's like totally just like screaming and crying after Mandy dies in the bathroom and just like drinking, and you're like, okay, Nick, calm down there, buddy. But yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I don't know what to rate this movie. This may sound a little harsh, but I'm gonna rate it a 6.1 out of 10. I'll let you know in the description. I'll let you guys know in the description if that changes, but that is where it will stand as of now, 6.1. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Make sure to like if you have enjoyed the video, and subscribe to see more content. And we'll see you guys in the next one.